Did you know that 37% of executives are planning to launch new as-a-service models and 52% are planning to change how products and services are sold in 2021? Are you planning to launch new services in the next 6 months? Listen in to how Oracle can help you make this profitable and keep your customers satisfied and loyal. Hi everyone, welcome to the Service Transformation session. My name is Julia Baghdadi. I'm the Product Marketing Director for Manufacturing and Maintenance at Oracle. Today, service offerings are reshaping business models across industries. Nearly everything can be offered as a service, from streaming music to heavy equipment to software. What was once called a sell it and forget it interaction with your customers is now just the start of a long-lasting relationship. The shift to anything as a service offers a better way to predict revenue and generate customer loyalty. And manufacturers are undergoing a transformation within their business to meet the requirements of these new business models. However, making this profitable is not easy. It requires a new operating model that provides the flexibility needed for new revenue models, such as offering product as a service or pay-as-you-go and subscription-based models. So I'm thrilled today to introduce Agnello Pepe, the Director of Discrete Industry Solutions at Oracle, as the presenter of this session. Agnello will explore the challenges manufacturers are facing as they are undergoing the transformation within their business, the capabilities needed to meet the requirements of the digital age, and how they are prioritizing customer feedback to continuously maintain, deliver, and monetize services in order to unlock continuous innovation. So with that, Agnello, please take it away.
Thanks, Julia. Yes, services are becoming a main part of the business and a significant revenue stream for most industry in virtually any segments, from manufacturing to automotive, to high tech, consumer electronics, and so on. This is not a new trend. We know that more than 83% of manufacturing firms are providing services on behalf of the customers, and that more than 1/3 of them is providing more services than products. But what is new is the growing emphasis on services as the mainstream business. For most industries, services are now the new battlefield for growing sales, for capturing and retaining customers. 52% of customers are ready to change their provider in case of a bad service experience, and they are more willing to share these bad experiences on social media rather than good experiences, so amplifying the negative effect on company reputation. But on the other side, we know that customers are willing to pay more to have a better service. New business models are shaping the way these services are provided in a continuum of possibility, moving in parallel with increasing digitalization of the product themselves and with increasing connectivity. So from the traditional provisioning of services on request, we move to service contracts granted at defined service level, relying on remote monitoring of connected assets in field and on predictive maintenance capabilities to reduce cost and increase availability. A further step is the provisioning of added value services on top and around the products, including services that can be provided by third parties, so that need to be provisioned and activated. The next level is selling the capability that the product can provide, rather than the product itself. This provides a greater flexibility in usage while reducing upfront investments and costs. And then it can enable customers to pay just for the effective usage of the product itself, like paying a wind turbine on the basis of the generated power, or paying a jet engine on the basis of the actual flying hours. So this product as a service business model can be quite complex in terms of offering, contracting, billing. Consider, for instance, the fact that there can be different services that are bundled together with physical products and so on. And also to the fact that they can also related to billing by consumption and so on. And then there is another dimension on that. It is how these services are paid. Subscription-based models are gaining acceptance for customers, both final customers, due to the increasing trends to new ownership models, related to the fact that, let's say, it's better using a product rather than buying that product, but also in businesses where it could help to move purchases from capital expenses to operating expenses. So service transformation is becoming a strategic imperative for most companies, but it requires developing a new service-based business model. However, as first movers, as seen, it is not easy to set up, manage and make profitable a new service-based business model, including subscription-based models. So it required to address a number of challenges in a holistic way, and a new operating model required for company that comes from more traditional business models. There are multiple aspects to be considered in a service transformation journey. First of all, of course, is service operation. So companies need to control and reduce service costs in order to transform services into a real revenue stream. And industrial companies are investing in modernizing products to enable services. For many industries, the cost of servicing their products and repairing equipment in field represent a large portion of their operating expenses, sometimes up to 70% of the total. On-site reparations accounts for a large part of those costs. But there are examples of companies which have been able to solve from 50 to 70% of issues remotely, or to reduce the number of repeated visits by 20% with the use of the proper technology, like IoT. It's not by chance that investment in IoT are continuously increasing. However, the current approaches are still plagued with inefficiencies. Statistics show that about 70% of companies still rely on manual techniques to locate and track assets in fields, and the inability to locate these assets in the field is the main reason for asset write-off. And service operations are still mainly reactive, and about 25% of service calls require multiple visits to be fixed. But at the same time, customers are increasingly demanding for more proactive and efficient service operations. Therefore, it's not surprising that about 76% of field service operations are struggling to achieve profitability, while asset maintenance costs typically around 25% of total operating cost for manufacturing companies. But optimizing service operation is not enough. There is the need to engage customers, to keep them using your products and consuming services, being satisfied with them and recommending them to other customers. And when services are available under a subscription-based model, you need to consider the importance of renewals versus new sales in the company. And then there is the need to properly manage all the contracts, activate and provision services, including services which can be provided by third parties, billing accordingly to possibly quite complex conditions like invoicing with proper frequency or by consumption or through other metrics and so on. That can be a complex task for a company which are used to work under more traditional business context and under different type of customer interactions. Another important aspect is related to the financial business processes. So besides the additional complexity related to the billing models related to usage, consumptions, monthly fee, and the need to have a proper revenue allocation, revenue sharing if you're providing service on behalf of a party and so on, there is the need to constantly check the financial viability and sustainability in time of your business model. So are we charging services with the proper margin in order to be profitable but continue to be competitive in the market? Or are the recurrent revenues for monthly fee granting the sustainability of our business in the long term? So those are questions that are not easy to answer if you don't have the proper tools. And least but not last, there's also the need to keep your product and service offering in line with customer needs and customer expectation, to be after the market trends and to be competitive in the market. So product and service development must work in close connection with all the other business area to provide the right bundling of product and services at any time. These business challenges require the specific capability to be faced with the customer, which is very appreciated. Regarding service operation, the Oracle solution provides all capability needed to address the main challenges for service modernization in a comprehensive way. It covers the area of asset monitoring, issue resolution, and service optimization. For asset monitors, it comprises remote monitoring capabilities, including predictive maintenance and asset management. Issue resolution combines the capability for both remote and on-site issue resolution, and service optimization considers the field service operation and service logistics. So for service operation, we combine Oracle application and technology in a comprehensive solution, combining IoT, intelligent apps in order to enable asset location, tracing, and remote asset monitoring. We apply artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques for predictive maintenance, for cause analysis and intelligent resolution of issues. Optimize service operation management and field service scheduling. Adding the capabilities for remote issue resolution, providing guided instruction to empower and support field technicians, and then service logistic to order part, to fulfill order in connection with the company supply chain management application, to manage trunk stock, to coordinate field service operation, to provide service debrief, to capture cost and initiate billing. And the benefits are significant. A study from McKinsey highlights that the adoption of advanced technology in field operation can lead to lower cost up to 40% and to a reduction of travel time and improvement in field personnel efficiency of up to 30% and a reduction of repeated visits up to 20%. So coming back to the full picture, service-based business model requires a multidisciplinary approach to be effective and profitable. And the Oracle Industry Solution addresses service transformation, combining all capabilities that are required for a modern service operating model. And that is exactly what makes Oracle approach in the market really unique. In fact, only Oracle can provide a complete business solution, seamlessly integrating and combining services, customer experience, field services, subscription management, financial, supply chain, and analytics. Each of these Oracle components is a leading solution in the market, but only Oracle has them all, and all in cloud. So let's have a look at that in a quick demo. Let's connect to subscription management. We have already configured a wind turbine. for a specific customer. Now we can see the billing summary. So it will be provided as a service with specific billing by month according to the basic fee and the subscription and the usage. So the action now we can activate, and the subscription has been activated. Now let's go to a simulation of wind turbine. The specific number is that we can get the usage of the wind turbine for the invoicing by usage. I send again into the system. So the scheduled process for generating invoicing for the customer is considering the quantity of the consumption with the unit price and the amount and so on. And the invoice is generating. And sent to the customer. Customers relying on wind turbine as a service can have a dashboard with a look at the service catalog, how their wind turbines are located and how they are performing, and how the service related to them and performance in terms of revenues and so on, and to have some notification about that. They can also have a look at the information from the wind turbine themselves, information provided by IoT connected to them. And from the vendor point of view, they can see the portfolio of customers they have, performance in time, maintenance cost, the service level they are providing. From the point of view of the vendor, there is also the chance to look at specific dashboard, specific to the role. So the CFO can have his own dashboard with information related to to gross margin, service cost, all KPIs that are relevant for him, including annual recurring revenues or average revenue for accounts. So a way to understand if the business is going well. And each role have its own dashboard. For the other service, they are interested in the same, but other KPIs are added on. So inventory value, renewal, customer satisfaction, service logistic cost, and the same for the other supply chain, interested in the level of spare parts and inventory. And also for the CMO, which is an important role in that, understanding churn rate, net promoter score, customer acquisition costs. Let's see what can do a CFO with it, understand that there is a decrease in margin and wants to intervene. He can work on a number of parameters in order to check if the projection it is correct, that there is a decrease. He can go through a what-if analysis in order to find the right leverages for tuning the performance of the system, but then he can check the accuracy of that assumption using a strategic model like this one, running a simulation applying a Monte Carlo analysis on the projected revenues of the system. So the system can automatically check those assumptions against a simulation model. And through that simulation model, it can, at the end of the day, define which are, if the assumptions are correct. So the level of certainty of that assumption through that simulation is stabilizing over 90%, so you can rely on those actions for tuning the revenues of the company. So the new plan with the new assumption after the tuning can be published and be the reference for the plan for the whole company. So that is the way to react fast and tuning to assess constantly the financial viability of the business model. Let's see how it works in a B2C context with a customer interested in a 3D printer, downloading the app, logging into the app, is interested in using a digital assistant to go through the different options for buying a 3D printer, and at the same time having that under a subscription model as a service. So there are different options for that. So interested to configure and buy. The digital assistant can support him through the configuration steps according to the customer preferences and choices. So for that, he can configure, finding the configuration details, different possibility for options, for interface, for accessories, power supply, nozzles, and the subscription option about that. So there is a subscription option. Interested in that in the configuration, you want to generate a quote. A quote is generating. There is a document you can see with the quote. You can have a look at that document. So that is the proposal with all the items related to the 3D prints and the fact that it is provided under subscription model as a service. It's okay. You want to place an order, and the order placed. Now it's working. It's going, making its job, but there is a nozzle clogged. So the 3D printer is connected through the IoT. Service request for the problem is automatically issued in the system. And an alarm is sent to the customer automatically that there is this problem, nozzle clogged. Want to proceed using the support of a digital system to solve remotely the problem. The digital assistant, according to the condition, situation, and so on, can propose what? It can propose the solution, and that is, in this case, update the firmware to the latest version, so it was a firmware problem. If accept that, the customer can see automatically the new version of the firmware downloaded on the printer. That solves the problem, and the customer is satisfied.
Which are the main benefits from the adoption of the Oracle new server operating model? First of all, the reduction in service delivery costs by streamlining and automatizing complex processes at scale. Then the increase in revenue by enabling new business model, for instance, billing by usage. Increase the asset lifetime through predictive maintenance and the reduction of cost of quality. Increase field service productivity and optimize service costs. Ensure the compliance with accounting rules. Manage service margins and assess financial viability of the new business model. Increase customer lifetime value with new products and services. Manage top-line revenue through the transition to new offers. Increase customer loyalty and renewal rates. And finally, reduction of costs through self-service while increasing sales with upsells and cross-sales capability. The overall challenge for the new operating model required by an as-a-service business model is to manage the business and operation complexity at the same time. The need for a modern business platform to support the complex processes at the highest rate which is required by the new business model is clearly perceived. But companies still underestimate the burden of managing a large number of assets in fields when the model takes traction. So underestimate the need for operational support platform. Oracle can provide both the needed business platform and the operational support platform in a seamlessly integrated, fully cloud solution. A successful service transformation is a journey touching virtually all main business processes in the company. It requires defining a clear vision of the target business model and of the trajectory and steps to get there. We as Oracle can support you in this journey together with our partners, and we are looking forward to talking with you.
Thanks a lot very much for your attention today.